I really just don't think you guys are ready for what I'm about to tell you. You need to have an open mind if you're going to understand that almost everything bad and evil in modern day society is from the fallen angels. In part 1, I told you guys a couple things that the Watchers taught humanity in the times of Noah. So let's get into part 2 and dive a little deeper into just how much heavenly knowledge they shared with us against God's will. Did y'all know that earth signs, moon signs, fire signs, all of that astrology comes from the fallen angels? For example, the fallen angel Araquiel taught humans the signs of the earth, later morphing into earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, all of that comes from Araquiel. Araquiel taught humans to practice geomancy, which is a practice that involves divining the meanings of geographical features. It can also be called feng shui, earth divinations that uses compasses and charms to coordinate interactions between people. Another fallen angel, Shazaquiel, taught us meteorology. That angel's name translates to the shooting star of God. Another angel called Sariel taught humans the courses of the moon and how to measure time through it and attempt to predict the future. Penemu, another fallen angel, taught humans how to use ink and paper. Notice the name, Penemu. And what do we write with? Pencil. Pens. This, y'all, everything is connected. Spelling, spells, cursive, curses. Come on, guys, stay woke. And something that you can see a lot today is that whole divine feminine thing. That came from the Watchers as well. Remember that they procreated with mortal women. Now, these angelic beings lusted for these women, but the women, they lusted for something different. Power. They wanted to know how to use their God-given abilities, such as the ability to give birth, in a way that will bring them power and dominion on earth. So their angelic partners taught them ways of divination, which included using their menstrual cycle, if you know what I mean, to do paganistic ritual. And this is also where sacrificing, little ones came from. Not only that, I'm gonna blow y'all minds right now. They taught them how to use sorcery, charms, and spells, not only with words but with music. Now, if you watch my other videos, y'all know what happened to the mortal women after the great flood of Noah. If you haven't seen my videos, I'm gonna break it down for you. God cursed these women to roam the seas as sirens, aka mermaids. And just in case y'all didn't know, mermaids are not cute and pretty like Ariel, they're evil. So anyway, these sirens are part of the demonic marine kingdom that is cursed to be without dwelling until their time of judgment. Now, what was the thing that they learned from their angelic partners? Sorcery with music. What do sirens do to lure people into the water to unalive them? They sing songs that put you in a trance. Oh my gosh, did I just blow your mind? You guys just are not ready. Like, you're not ready for this. Is this not crazy? I have been going down this rabbit hole for weeks and I don't regret it. Anyway, y'all, that is the end of this video. But if you want a part 3, let me know in the comments. And as always, make sure you like and follow. The Greek gods, the Egyptian gods, all of them, they're all fallen angels and no one can tell me different. No one. At this point, I'm really realizing that everything comes full circle because, like, the more I'm learning, the more my mind is blown. So we have been talking about the book of Enoch on this channel, and we've mainly been focusing on the part about the fallen angels coming down, procreating with mortal women, those mortal women making an offspring of ravenous giants. And when God sent the flood, the fallen angels were punished, the Nephilim arrived in the sea and their disembodied spirits became demons, and the women were cursed to the seas, right? We covered that. Oh my gosh, wait a second. Before we get into the tea any farther, make sure you guys follow my YouTube because apparently TikTok's getting banned and I don't want to lose you all. Oh yeah, as always, TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only, just for funsies. Anyway, back to the tea. So we've covered that part, right? But what we haven't spoken a lot about is the miscegenation. Now, the term miscegenation means when bad things are done to things that are not human. I have to be very careful what I say. Certain kinds of relations with animals. Yeah. So in the book of Enoch, it actually says that the fallen angels did these things. And honestly, that kind of makes me feel like that's where it originated from, because y'all know some weirdos in this day and age still do that kind of thing. Anyway, so yeah, from this miscegenation came half human and half animal creatures. So basically a mixing of DNA trying to create a whole new species. We've already covered on this channel that the Greek gods were actually fallen angels because in that time they brought down so much heavenly knowledge that the humans literally revered them as God. And those demigods that had a human parent and a heavenly parent were really the Nephilim and the other species that came about on the earth. Have y'all ever wondered where things like centaur and satyrs came from? Like, hello? It had to have come from somewhere, and Greek mythology is not the only place that this comes about. The Egyptian gods as well have a habit of being half animal and half human. But staying on Greek mythology, let's not forget about Sirens, which actually are not mermaids in Greek mythology. They are half human, half bird, specifically women. So are y'all seeing the pattern here? It's definitely giving that this miscegenation was so rampant in this time, and that would make sense as to why God had to flood the earth, because it was just so corrupt. Then that makes you think, okay, God flooded the earth, so things drowned, right? Everything drowned on the earth, but what about the things that lived in the sea, like Sirens, the mermaid kind? Throughout history, you can see so much proof of the existence of water spirit. For example, Mami Wata, which is a Caribbean and African water deity, has been around for as long as anyone can remember. That's because this all ties together, guys. It is so mind-blowing. Like, the deeper you get down the rabbit hole, you just never gonna leave. But I will tell you one thing: while you are digging, while you're learning more about the lore, make sure you don't get distracted, and remember that the most important thing is Jesus. Don't do too much now. As always, y'all, make sure you like and follow and comment down below if y'all want me to dive into the connections within the Egyptian gods. Ever since reading the book of Enoch, being in this ocean, baby, it is hitting different. I don't know. It's making me feel some kind of way, but I'm in the ocean trying to make y'all some really good content. So let's get into it. For those of you that are new, let's break down where sirens actually come from according to the apocryphal text, book of Enoch, that I read as history or lore, not scripture. Don't play with me. So basically, y'all know about when the fallen angels rebelled against God. We're gonna get into some heavenly history. So the fallen angels rebelled against God. A third of the angels came down with Lucifer and rebelled against God, trying to be God, but obviously they lost. And 200 of those angels, called the Watchers, came down, right, and procreated with the daughters of man. Once Adam and Eve started having like different generations and daughters starting to be born, you can check this in Genesis. This part is biblical. Once daughters started to be born, the fallen angels saw them and wanted to mate with them, basically. Sounds a little bit like the Greek gods, doesn't it? Gods. Y'all, the Greek gods were basically fallen angels. The Egyptian gods, all of them were fallen angels. I have so many videos on it. Go ahead, check my page. But anyway, so now when they're on earth and they start having offspring with immortal women, that came the Nephilim. This is where all of the giants in the Bible derived from. Like, let's say Og of Bashan, Goliath and his brothers, the Amorites, like all of these giants that you see, it all started with Noah. Or not Noah, I'm sorry, the fallen angels in the days of Noah. While the fallen angels were on the earth, allegedly, according to the book of Enoch, they basically taught the earth heavenly knowledge that we were not supposed to know at all. Sorry it's so loud, y'all. Like, it's mad people around me. And yes, I'm wearing an outfit in the ocean. I didn't plan on getting in, but the water was just too nice. So basically, they taught humans how to put makeup on. They taught divination. That's where these horoscopes and the female divination comes from. Witchcraft in general was all started by the fallen angels. How to unalive someone in a single blow, a bunch of stuff, y'all. And when their offspring, the Nephilim, grew, they ended up becoming ravenous and actually cannibalistic. When they ended up eating all of Earth's resources, they turned on each other and started to consume each other. This is why God sent the flood. And also, according to the book of Enoch, this is not Bible, but allegedly, they were trying to create half animal, half man species, and that is where the Egyptian gods came from. Notice most of the Egyptian gods are half animal, half man. That's where they came from, because they presented themselves as gods, and that's why in the time of Moses, the Lord says you should not worship any other gods besides me, because he knew that these fallen angels were presenting themselves as gods, and that is who the Egyptians consulted with when they wanted their serpent, their staff, to become a serpent. Remember when God turned Moses' staff into a serpent and his serpent ate the Egyptian god's serpent? That's really the fallen angels using demonic powers to do that, but obviously they can never be God. But yeah, y'all, when the flood came, I always wondered, okay, what happened to the women? Where are the women? Like, did they just unalive? No. It says that they were actually cursed to the sea to become sirens, and that explains it, because I truly believe that most myths has some kind of truth to it. Why is it that sirens come up throughout history? Like, every single culture, you're gonna see sirens somewhere in their lore. because I feel like they're real, like genuinely. And it's insane because that opens up a whole new thing, like the demonic marine kingdom. And like looking at this, guys, like looking up behind me, I knew it was so much more to fear about the ocean than sharks and whales and sea creatures, giant squids. Baby, that's nothing compared to what's really under there. That's why we have only discovered like what, 5% of the ocean, because it's impossible. Like, in fact, I think they know more than what they let on, obviously, because that's why they're all over here like, oh, there's a presence in the ocean. The Congress said that because there's so much more than meets the eye when it comes to this body of water, y'all. Looking at this, it's a whole different picture. But anyway, y'all, make sure you like, follow, comment down below what else you want to get into, because I could talk about this for hours.